project is called Brief.AI, and it's basically a news recommendation system so that you can read some news that you're interested in. This is just a trailer. Okay, so the problem that we were looking to solve is that with like normal news sites, there's a lot of news that you may not find very interesting, and there's a lot of it. So you'll have to spend a long time like scouring through a lot of random articles that are just uninteresting to you. So we were thinking that like maybe we could have like a recommendation system so that you can get news that you are interested in and not have to go through like a lot of different sites and sources for it. So our recommendation system uses word embeddings and user interest to make a recommendation page tailored for the user. And we do that by using a massive API that combines all of our news sources for the search engine using ChatGPT and fuzzy search to find some relevant news. Some people who may be interested in our project may be people who find navigating through news sites very inconvenient, and also people who just don't have the time to go through all of that news. And also, you can't tell whether or not your news sources are like biased or not. So maybe collecting from like different sources can help ensure that your information is as accurate as possible. And on to Sriram for the backend mechanism.
All right, so I'm gonna just quickly explain what we're doing for our backend. This is our backend workflow. So when the user gets onto the site, we're going to be using an auth system to make sure that they're logged in, because the key point of this website is that we're creating personalized news. So in order to do that, we need to have a whole user system set up so that we can have recommendations for each user. And once you're logged in and have your account, you can we'll collect your interest data. So you can just input your interests, and it'll take you to the news feed with your interests, where there's a search bar and 8 articles that are recommended to you by our algorithm. So for our tech stack, we're using Mediastack API for our API with all the news articles. We thought this was a really good fit for us, considering this has news articles from all sorts of sources, and it gives us around 1,000 free calls, which yields around 100,000 free papers in total. For our initial data set, we had 4,000 news articles initially. And once the site is live, we plan on adding 100 new articles to our database every hour so we can keep our database current. For our search engine, we use ChatGPT and fuzzy search. So ChatGPT comes in when a user types in their query in the search bar. So ChatGPT will extract keywords from the search query, and using an algorithm called fuzzy search, will return articles that are related to the query, to the keywords extracted from the query. For our recommendation system, we use pre-generated word embeddings from Glove to generate similarity vectors between articles and interests, and the top 8 articles with the highest similarity, according to the embeddings, will show up on our main page.
Alrighty, so I'm going to be talking about the design philosophy and basically the functionality of the website. Just a little introduction to myself. My name is Max Langenfelter. I am the front-end developer and full-stack developer for this project, and I'm going to be doing a little demo. So Sophia, if you can give me a second, and I will share my screen. Cool. All right. So this is what you see when you initially load up our site. It is currently public. We are running a production build at the moment. So you go to brief.pk.me, and then it redirects you to the sign up route, assuming that you don't have an account. I already have an account, so I'm going to go to the login page, and I am going to just log in with my account. All right, so initially after being logged in, you're taken to your feed page, which is where you see your tailored news recommendations. This is based on both the recommendations, the interests that you have defined manually. So saying, oh, I'm interested in sports, I'm interested in politics, I'm interested in science, that type of stuff. So you can manually go in and modify those interests. But in the future, we also plan to implement something where it's also based on your search results. So part of our site is it's also, apart from being a curated platform, you can also just search for news. And we do that by using ChatGPT to extract keywords from your search query, and then using our database from the API to give you recommendations. So I will demo that really quick. So for example, if I search for news about China, we are going to extract the keyword China from there, because if you search a database for news about China, probably no articles include the name news about China. So you get a list of search results relevant to your search term. So that's what this looks like. You can go through, find something relevant and click it, and then it will take you to the external site where you can then read the article and view it there. Now, once you are done viewing a search result, you can close it, and you can go to your interests, which I currently have travel, basketball, soccer, and sports. So you can add as many interests as you want, and it will use the glove embeddings to do the vector similarity between our articles and your interests, and to give you a curated list. So I can put something in there. Let's see. We're going to go with legal, law, get some similar terms in there. I'll go technology, programming, and maybe education. And so you save that, and then you go back to the recommendation page. And after the backend populates from the database and pulls the images from the relevant site, you'll get your curated recommendations based on your interests. And yeah, that is our site and project. The front end is built in Next.js with a back end in Django using ChatGPT, the glove embeddings, and a few other AI elements.